Hello and welcome to our Gold Rush Daily. And let's begin by looking at what we are anticipating for the gold today. And before we look at that, it's always good to look at the Forex Factory calendar. So in the Forex Factory calendar, we don't have any high impact news that we are looking forward to. But again, remember, it's always good to be cautious because anything can pop up in the financial market. We can have a Trump speak or just some news here and there that are not really captured in the Forex Factory that might be able to cause some volatility in the market. So the reason why always proper risk management is advocated for. So let's begin by looking at the dollar index. And by the look of the dollar index, this is the daily time frame. What we are seeing here is the dollar index gaining some strength. You see the dollar index gaining some strength. We are looking at the price coming to these particular levels here. That's why we are looking at anticipating the price to come to these levels, basically to see whether you're going to have a rebound from that level or a rejection from that level, which might push the price on the downside. We still have the gaps are not filled up yet at this particular level. So yes, at the moment you're seeing some quite strength in the dollar index, but like I mentioned in the morning, I feel that it's not still yet off the hook. We might anticipate, we might be able to see some bearish sentiments, maybe probably once the price comes to this particular point. And the reason being that we are still in the shutdown, so the dollar is so much into pressure, right? It's so much pressurized, and therefore we might not be able to say that maybe probably it's out of the hook, because what we are seeing right now, the strength that we are seeing, as even it advances, the dollar index advances above the 98.0 level. We see the dollar index actually shrugging off some concerns about US government shutdown, what we have been having, and even the expectations of the Federal Reserve monetary policy easing, which we are currently looking at maybe probably about maybe 2 rate cuts before the end of the year. But we see the DXY are really pushing up at the moment. Okay, so it's shrugging off all those, because all those cues or sentiments, they basically meant to push the dollar index on the lower side or to weaken the dollar index. But right now, what we are seeing is it's quite the opposite of that, and the reason why we should approach it cautiously, we are looking at this technical level here, maybe probably to see whether to anticipate a likelihood of a rejection from this particular point. But in case you're going to see the price break this level, then the next level that we'll be looking at is the price pushing all the way up to this particular zone that we have here. So let's quickly look at gold. So gold has really been pushing higher. Some of the sentiment we have seen for gold, we have been able to see we have been able to witness or to see the bank of, I mean, China adding into the gold reserves. So, and also the central banks in emerging economies are really adding some are really going into the gold reserves, adding their reserves, and these again causing the prices of gold to push higher. So again, the government shutdown causing gold to be a safe haven, and therefore a lot of people are looking at gold currently at the moment. Of course, we have the psychological level of 4,000. That's where maybe probably a majority of traders or investors are looking at. Maybe probably in terms of taking their profits, because this is a key psychological level, and by the look of things, we are not really far away from that level, because the highest point the price reached today, we are talking about 39.77 level. That's where the price reached today, and we still see the hopes of price pushing on the upper direction. So if you look at this kind of price action, what is really happening here, it's also again important to really monitor price closely, because you see the price pushing on the downside, right? We see the price of gold pushing on the downside, and reacting on this engulfing, that is the 4-hour engulfing, and from there we see the price pushing up, which it has been able to push up from that level to about 217 pips thereabout. And where it is at the moment is also in the 4-hour bearish engulfing. Okay, and we are seeing some kind of rejection from that particular point. However, guided by the structure, now that we haven't seen from the 4-hour time frame, guided by the 4-hour time frame structure, we haven't seen any break of change of character. So in case the price was to drop below this level, that's when we could say that we have a change of character, and we could be waiting for the prices to come to these particular levels that we have around this particular point. But again, remember, we have a very beautiful channel here, this lower trend line and the upper trend line, where the price has been trading within that particular level, creating higher highs and higher lows. That is a bullish sentiment. So if you look at it from the 1-hour time frame, we see some bit of a weakness here, right? So we see the price create that change of character there, and therefore it means price coming to this level is a key level to basically to be able to look at maybe some potential selling structure. According to the structure, according to the strategy, this is a key level, maybe probably to eyeball some sales. However, when you're looking at selling opportunities for gold right now, I would say that you better minimize the risk, because yeah, it looks like we have a change of character on the 1-hour time frame, but again, with the underlying fundamentals, that's what really riding gold at the moment: the geopolitical tension, the government shutdown, and the central banks adding onto their gold reserves, and therefore these might make the prices of gold to be more bullish. So in case you are trading the technicals here, looking at these particular levels, therefore looking for sales here, therefore it's good not to really overestimate in terms of your targets, maybe probably day trading or scalping from this particular zone. So if we go to the 15 minutes time frame, so you can see the same zone suffices. Here we get a change of character and the price pushes on the downside. At this particular point, we see some bit of price struggling to break this point here. Again, because it's a key point, as the price was pushing down, we saw some consolidation there before the price continued to push down, and therefore this is a level that is likely to either push the price on the downside, or maybe you might see the price drag along this particular point and then get the momentum to push higher. Right. So basically what we are looking at now is to be able to position ourselves accordingly, especially during the New York session, so that we can be able to see the kind of entries that we might have. So if you bring it on the 5 minutes time frame, and splitting the price to come to this particular point, basically to look for some buying opportunities, but we saw the price respecting the 1-hour OB, and then now the price is pushing up again. This level, you can see it's a key, it's quite a level here that is influencing prices. We might be able to see some consolidation, maybe probably until the New York session. Once the New York session opens, then we see the price push up, basically to create this symmetrical structure, push up to this particular point, and now from this level, in case you're going to get a rejection here, this is the level I'm talking about, eyeballing some selling opportunities, but again minimizing the risk, because yeah, we bullish, but again this is the structure that we are looking at technically, meaning that we are likely to get some pips here, and if selling from this level, like I said, and I repeat again, this is basically scalping or day trading. And so the best entries that I'll be looking at is mostly the buy opportunities, and this is one of the faster point of buying. But in case we see the price break below that level, then what I'll be looking at is maybe probably some potential selling opportunities from this point to this point, because this is close to about 300 pips. Then maybe probably from this level you might have some buying opportunities. And if that level doesn't suffice, then the next level you'll be looking at is these particular levels here. Of course, it's always good to go to the lower time frames and be able to minimize the risk so that you can have minimum or low risk entries. Okay, so that's what I will be looking at for gold. The first point of interest, this level here around 34, 39, 33, right? The next level, maybe probably in case this level is violated, the next buying opportunity is around 38 and 94. So yeah, any pullbacks on the downside, we'll be looking for some selling opportunities. But if the change of character happens on the 4-hour time frame, if the price breaks here on the 4-hour time frame, we can look for selling opportunities. Basically, for the price to come to this particular level, what I said, the 38.94 levels. All right. So the key thing, remember the US session, that is the New York session, it's coming with a lot of volatility nowadays, because that's when the Congress is sitting, having conducting the business of the day. Of course, the key discussion at the moment is the government shutdown, whereby maybe probably they are doing whatever they might do in order to see maybe probably the government reopening. So always trade cautiously, be disciplined, check on your risk, and remember to stay focused and to be at least informed in terms of what's happening around the global markets, because one of the key success of trading gold is being able to know what's really transpiring along the global markets. Now, when you combine the technicals and you combine with the fundamentals, it becomes even more high probability setup. So with that, until the next one, see you and take care.